Welcome into the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Tuesday, and the Champions League has returned. I am Sara, joined by the one and only Klinton.
Oh, yes. We are back. We are back here to discuss these teams. Which ones are going to be making us happy? Which one is going to be sending us to the hospital as a result of mental health issues? But then again, let me introduce the tallest man in Madrid as usual. Is the one and only Alex Ebuda.
Is this what you're going to put?
I got you on that one.
Is this what you're going to put if you get me a Nigerian passport?
Yeah, I mean, that's really, he said to me he wanted a Nigerian passport, and I'm trying to establish the facts just before. So when you put up your application and they start asking questions like, wait, where, there was going to be evidence to suggest that you've been bearing this name for a while. I mean, because this application, we're looking at maybe a couple of months, right? 6 months. But you know, for real, being Nigerian will suit you though. We just need to feed your pidgin English. I mean, you should be able to say, this is one of the questions they would ask you. See,
oh, God.
Sara, we're going to come to you in a minute. Right? This is a whole new show. They would ask you to say, how far, how you day? Say,
how far, how you day?
No, you have to use a Nigerian accent. Use a Nigerian accent. Oh, yeah. Can you do like this? Do like this. How far, how you day?
I don't think I can do that now.
Ah, man. But how would you get your citizenship, though? You know what? We'll come back to this one, man.
All right. Can I introduce Gary, please, coming to us from Accra. What is this, Gary? What is this? What is this stance you have?
Is he hot?
Sarah, how far? How you
doing?
day, Sarah? How far? How you day?
There we go. That's what
Sarah,
Clinton
how
needed.
far?
I don't know what's happening.
I think he was practicing his Cole Palmer celebration.
Ice cold. All right, Gary, we got a lot to talk to you. Wow, can't even speak. We have a lot to talk to you about today because we know Arsenal are playing PSG in just an hour's time. But guys, before we get there, big news in the footballing world. Andrés Iniesta has announced his retirement. Legend at Barcelona, legend at Spain, 2 trebles for Champions League, 2 Euros and a World Cup in between those two. The 4th most decorated footballer that has ever played the game, and my oh my, how much joy had he brought me personally, but I think all of us, Alex. Is he the best midfielder of all time in football when you think of...
This is a good question. I don't think I can answer it on the spot. I need time to think about this, and he's definitely up there. I think he deserves to be in the conversation. Oh, whether he's the best, it's too hard of a decision to make on the spot. I can't do that.
Clinton, what are your thoughts on Andrés Iniesta?
I mean, I think he's definitely my top 3 when you think about it. He's been one of the best guys to ever go through that midfield. I think the only reason why he's not very rated or extremely seen as one of those goals is only because we only see people who score goals as, you know, the goals. Like, if I tell you who are the players that are extremely celebrated today, we're talking about players who relate goals to their name. Say, for example, R9, Cristiano, Lionel Messi. If Lionel Messi was a midfielder and he wasn't scoring the goals, I'm probably sure people will not see him as the god of football today, or maybe if he's not had the World Cup. But what's made him get the World Cup is because he scored goals. You know, he does all the magic on the pitch. I feel like just doing the magic does not necessarily make you the GOAT, but when there is some kind of fulfillment, when, you know, say there's the goal, there's the you know, the league titles, then you become, you know, part of the GOAT. This guy, to me, he's as great as one of the all-time best on that midfield. As a matter of fact, I try to think about which midfielders could be better than Andrés Iniesta.
The ones that come into mind, Xavi, obviously one of his teammates.
Yeah, Busquets as well.
You could say Busquets is up there. Zinedine Zidane, Michel Platini.
Absolutely.
You know, there are some players dating back to, you know, previous times. You've obviously got, I mean, off the top of my head, I think, looking at...
I mean, Andreas Pirlo is there too.
Yeah,
Andrea, pardon me, the Italian version. Gary, what do you think about Andrés Iniesta? Is he up there for you in all-time midfielders?
Don Andrés has to be in the conversation. Like, what he did with that Barcelona team, you know, as well as the role he Klinton, I think.
Sorry, we're just having some technical issues with Gary, but he was talking about that Barcelona side where he won 2 trebles there, and it was him, it was Xavi, Busquets, I mean, I think the thing is with Iniesta, like you were saying, he doesn't score the goals, but I think it was also his attitude. He's a very humble guy, you know, always kind of, you know, head down, play the game, and dismantling players with his skill rather than conflict or, you know, being loud. I think that's another thing. He was under the radar in that sense because he just let his football do the talking. But I mean, that one skill like he constantly does, Iniesta's very famous La Croqueta. I mean, the way he just pulled players on the edge, and I mean, look at this. I mean, we have the World Cup winning goal here. Just beautiful. But I think he was one of those players that really deceived us when we watched him. What he was capable to do with the ball, it seemed like impossible. It seemed like magic, which is why we call him the illusionista.
It's effortless. You know, it's almost as if he was literally just gliding through players. I mean, there's that famous photo that I think he posted on his Instagram where there's about 6 Italian players around him and he tags them all. And, you know, it looks like they're all trying to go and tackle him. And, you know, the skill he has on the ball, the skill he has off the ball, the awareness he has, his passing ability, his knowledge of the game, his tactical nous. It's, you know, he was a joy to watch. And, you know, I think he's still got 1 game left for Emirates Club before he retires. So, yeah, I think he'll be one of the ones that we look back on as definitely, you know, one of the best midfielders of all time, if not the best for some people.
No, I mean, I don't know if I would say, you know, is the best midfielder of all time. I think that would be us stretching it, but definitely I would say...
Why is that stretching it? Who's, like, what is it that he doesn't have that's not making it?
No, I'm not trying to say he doesn't have anything. For example, I mean, I just feel like, you know, we have so many midfielders who are also magicians, right? I mean, I don't...
But to this level?
No, listen, like I said, in top 3, I'll definitely put him there.
Who is in your top 3?
That's a very good question. You know, you see, here's the problem. I just feel like there are so many midfielders to think about, who are also magicians too.
Is Xavi in your top 3?
Like, for example, I could easily put Kevin De Bruyne there, right? But I wouldn't say because he's not as one of the best dribblers, right? But it's the fact that he also creates as good as... They just do their stuff differently, if you ask me. No, I'm being sincere with myself, you know. I just feel.
I'm having an episode. Kevin De Bruyne to Andrés Iniesta.
No. Listen. Let me. I don't know. Yeah, everybody has their just the same way people believe that, you know, Ronaldo is way better than Messi. It's nearly the same way I feel like. Kevin De Bruyne is a god on that midfield for me. You know, this is a whole new, different era. In this era, I'm giving it to... Maybe during the time of Iniesta, I probably would give it to him. But
this is the thing, though. I don't think we can... It's very much the thing of the argument of saying, well, this player is better because those older players couldn't have done it in this time, but they obviously weren't playing in this time. They were playing at the time. And, you know, Iniesta's been playing at the top level. I mean, when did he leave Barcelona? It was
2016? No.
It was later than that.
It was later, 19.
But yeah, you know, not in the too distant. You know, he's left them not that long ago. It's not been it's not like he left in 2003 and he's, you know, been playing all around since. You know, he's
18. Thank you.
Yeah, he's played at the top level when football was. And still is, you know, the level probably has increased a little bit since then, but he's played at a level where, you know, there are some of the best teams to ever play football. You know, that Real Madrid team with Ronaldo, Benzema, you know, the Barcelona team that he was a part of, you know.
The Spanish national team that won back to back to back. Like, I think what we have to realize is that not only did he win on the club level, everything. Two trebles. No, I'm not done. He did a Euro World Cup and a Euro, which hasn't been done.
You see, when he has to do with Barcelona, right? You know, for me, I cannot argue with Sara because even if right now she will tell you that any player from Barcelona is literally the best in the world, which you know, when it comes to any player and that's played for Barcelona, I cannot have that argument with Sara. She would never agree. But listen, I'll still say I'm not saying KDB. Right, is better than Iniesta. Iniesta, obviously. I'm just saying that he's up there in my top 3. Do you understand? They just have different kind of strengths, playing in different era of football. And I respect, listen, I don't know what you guys, maybe people just don't see it. I just feel like if you guys don't think Kevin De Bruyne is up there, then I think he's then an underrated player. But trust me, I cannot think about any midfielder in this current generation. Like, okay, let me, sincere with me, forget about the days of Iniesta. Let's talk about now, right?
No, because right now we're talking about Iniesta. Right now we're talking about Iniesta.
I know, listen, but what's there to speak about him, though? We've spoken about the fact that he's one of the, or you guys believe he's the greatest midfielder, to have walked through midfield, maybe, right? But let's then extend it a bit. Let's have some kind of conversation around the whole midfield and Iniesta, right? During his time, yes, he did amazingly well, and he probably was one of the best. I'm asking you, in this point in time, Alex, or Gary, or Sara, any of you, who would you guys put as your top 3 midfielders currently as we speak? We're speaking about midfield, yeah.
I mean, if you're talking players currently playing at the top level, I think De Bruyne has to be in that top 3. Perhaps you could look at the likes of, maybe not so much this season, but Luka Modric, I think, has to, deserve a mention in that because he's, one of the best midfielders of his generation. He won a Ballon d'Or when it was just Ronaldo and Messi for years on end.
Toni Kroos?
Toni Kroos, obviously just retired, but he, is up there as one of the best midfielders of all time. Arguably, the best Real Madrid midfielder of all time. When you look at the conversation of him, Modric, Zidane, there are players that are still playing. Yes, I know.
I just said top 3, though.
Top 3. I mean, if I had to pick off the top 3 off the top of my head right now that are still playing.
Yeah, I mean, guys, whilst he's thinking about his top 3, let me see your top 3.
Gary, can you please come back to what we were talking about? Because I've seen your face. I've seen your face.
No, but that's my problem. Because I've told you guys, when it has to do with Barcelona, right? And fam, listen, what do you want to speak about? Are we going to finish on Iniesta? He played. He's one of the best. What else do you want to go in again? Okay, let's hear from Gary. That's fine.
Yeah, sorry. Before the gremlin starts on my line, I was just about saying that he has to be in the conversation, just like I think Klinton said, as being one of the maybe top 10. Top 3 for me is a bit of a stretch because top 3, I would have Zidane in no particular order. I can't think of the order. Zidane, maybe Platini, and Lothar Matthäus. They won as much as they played, but these 3 also brought us a certain kind of joy. And in ranking the midfielders, a key component is the joy they brought, like what they did on the field to bring smiles on our faces. It's a reason why when I'm gauging who the best footballer is of all time, or the best striker, or the best defender of all time, it's what they did in addition to what they won for me. And that's purely subjective, right? And that's why I'll put Don Andrés in there, probably in the top 5. I mean, guy, look, stylish man. I mean, man was stylish. He got the ball and you felt like, like you have, yeah. He made you salivate. That was Don Andrés. He brought joy. He wasn't just playing football. So while Xavi was like the metronome and dictating things, Don Andrés had the capacity to, just like Xavi as well, give you a defense splitting pass, but he also had the capacity also to, break. He was not as combative. He had a few imperfections in there. That's why I put him in the top 10. But he brought a certain joy to the game. And then the reason why I think obviously he would get in there is because of the sheer breadth of what he won. Some would argue, Sara, Klinton, and Alex, that you see, Don Andrés must not be in the top 3 or top 5 because if he wasn't in this Barca team, he single-handedly could not have carried this Barca team to those heights. That would be reserved for the likes of Messi. And some would have said, if he were a Real Madrid player, you put him in that Real Madrid team in that time, he wouldn't have won as much as he's won now because players like Ronaldo could do that, or Zidane, that sort of player, the real game-changing attributes that you want in a player. Don Andrés was not that player. Xavi was not that player. That's why they are not in the top 5. Zidane was absolutely that player. Lothar Matthäus was absolutely that player. These were players that could grab tournaments by the scruff of the neck and win tournaments. We saw it. That's why I would not put them in my top 3. But absolutely top 10, you can't look at that graphic they showed us at the start of the show and not put him in there. It's absolutely ridiculous. And
Top
I just
3.
saw a strap. and not put him in, no, in the top 10 pantheon. I've explained why I'll not put him in the top 10. Any player that will be in my top 10 anything should have the capacity to single-handedly win games, change games on their own. Iniesta, for all his goodness, was not that guy in a team. We did not see that. And that was because, he was a victim of the Messi thing. I mean, it was Messi who was carrying the team. Or when Ronaldinho was there, it was Ronaldinho who was carrying the team. Definitely not Don Andrés, okay? And definitely not Xavi as well. 1 or 2 or 3 games or 50% or 30% of the time, yeah, you could give them, but definitely not as consistently as a Messi would, a Ronaldo would, or a Haaland would. When Haaland came into Manchester City, we can point to the moment Haaland came and said, this was a team-defining acquisition. You get me? Thierry Henry was a team-defining acquisition. Messi was a team-defining...
Does Mbappe come under the same category as well?
Well, yeah, for France and when he was at PSG, but he has not done it for Real Madrid yet. We discussed this one where we were defining Mbappe's impact, that because he has not done it for Real Madrid yet, I think it was Alex who said Real Madrid might actually hurt Mbappe's legacy because it is looking like it will be the only team where he's not the main man and the game changer. So that's why I'll put Don Iniesta as not part of my top 3, not to take anything away from him. I think he's a victim of, maybe if Messi were not around, he would have risen up to the occasion far more times. Xavi would have as well. But, I mean, an absolutely delightful player. And Sarah, did you ever see him live? I never saw him live, and I always wish I would have seen him live. He's a player that, because, people said that the magic of watching Xavi and Iniesta was not in their on-the-ball movement. It was in what they did off the ball. And we didn't have the opportunity to see that on television. So we lost a bit of that magic. Having watched Messi myself, I mean, I'm going to tell my grandchildren that what you saw on TV is, that's what I'm going to tell them. Like, you should have been born earlier. Because what he did off the ball is the real magic. What Zidane did off the ball, what De Bruyne did off the ball, the way they scanned, the way they gave the no-look passes, that was the magic of some of these players. And I think that Iniesta and Xavi is my abiding regret that I never saw them live. Because I remember a piece, or some pieces Sid Lowe did, of these two players, and the way he painted the things they did off the ball. When you see or hear the journalists that describe them, it's like what we watch on TV was like 50% of the cake,
100%.
Yeah.
No, I'm just happy with Gary's take on this, because if I had repeated all of this the way Gary had said it, I'm sure people would have crucified me, including Sara. But no, Gary is good. At least you see the way she's quiet, because first of all, you are the football expert.
Because I can't speak with you because you keep talking.
What do you mean speak? No, listen. If I had said what Gary said, my first few seconds, Sara would be laughing there, right? But the football, you see, and Gary obviously is a football expert, and I like his own take on this. He's not taking away the fact that Iniesta is one of the greatest, but he's giving his own reason why he would not put him in his own top three, which is exactly the same way I felt. But then again, when it's Klinton, Klinton is, there's
maybe it's the way you said it. That is the way. Like, yesterday, did you listen to Sarah's intro yesterday? Did you listen to Sarah's intro to the show yesterday?
Remind me of the intro.
He didn't listen.
No, she was rhyming.
Sorry?
That is your answer.
Sorry?
Pardon? Sarah,
Sorry?
did you, I really like your intro yesterday, because you were rhyming and doing...
I know, I thought it was just something fun to do off the show because we had such a busy weekend and there were so many goals. We had to talk about it. I did screw it up, but it's okay. I tried to keep it going. No, actually, I was going to say Gary, but then Klinton interrupted me. I didn't agree with what he said. I just was waiting for him to finish. I think that Iniesta was that guy, though, that could change games. He did it in the World Cup. He did it in the final. Stamford Bridge 2012, Champions League. I think it just got overshadowed by Messi, but in no way, Iniesta was able to do. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't as, influential. There was just a bigger guy, but he was still doing all the work too. Like, I think it's hard for some people maybe to notice it as much. But for me, he's absolutely top 3. Like, there's no question. Like, this guy changed games. And like you said, he brought us all joy doing it too.
Why are other top 2?
So my other top 2, I go Xavi, Zizou. Honorable mentions, Paul Scholes, Kaká. Because those two were different gravy. Honestly, Paul Scholes is pushing right there, though. You know, Iniesta and Paul Scholes are...
Scholes ahead of Gerrard.
Oh, absolutely. For me,
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Ever since Gerrard fell, it's been long. All right, guys, let's move on, though.
Because then you have to mention Lampard, too. If you do pause and score, the next thing we know, somebody's mentioning Lampard, and then we don't have a show
What we need to do
anymore.
is have like a full-on chat about this, the best of each position, because I know we can talk about this for ages, but we have to move along. So gracias, Andrés, para todos. But now it's Champions League time, guys, because in 40 minutes, we have Gary's Arsenal taking on PSG. All right, let's start off with this one because it is the big one. Gary, obviously, Arsenal, Atalanta 2 weeks ago, drew Arsenal over the weekend, came back, Leandro Trossard, Kai Havertz, they got it done. But the big news with this PSG team is that Ousmane Dembele has been left off the squad by Luis Enrique for disciplinary issues. And am I surprised? Nope.
No.
Can't say that I am. Gary, what does this mean for Arsenal?
First of all, isn't that why we love Luis Enrique? Like, he takes, absolutely no BS. Like, nobody. If there was anybody you wanted to be in charge of any Galacticos team, I think Sir Alex Ferguson would be up there. Bill Shankly was before my time, so I can't say much, right? But I am definitely putting Luis Enrique there. Like, yo, who are you again? Like, he will put you in your place. He's going to show you who's boss. And the reports about Ousmane Dembele right back from Germany till, his Spain days and now our Legion. His talent is undeniable, but his talent is as grand and as Alex, give me the word as his attitude and discipline. I don't know what it is. So
no, but Gary, I feel very offended. But you know I have a British passport. I'm actually English. Oh, okay, I'm not English. I'm British. Like, why did you question? Why didn't you ask me? Wait, you think
No, because you, I need you to give the West African word that will shake them. That's what the English, We know the words you and I will use. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
You and I will say were like Ousmane Dembele Nawere, right? Nawere, exactly. So Dembele's departure or absence is fantastic for me because if there's somebody who could have really given us a problem, down those wings, it's absolutely him. And I'm glad he's not there, and Luis Enrique has given him a new lease of life. He's always been fearless, but there's a certain childlike happiness he's been playing with that has made him very unpredictable that I wouldn't have liked to see tonight. And so thank you, Ousmane, for choosing this game to do this. I owe you one. However, team news-wise, I think we're in a good position. I don't like the fact that Luis Enrique has been playing mind games with us and calling us the best. What did he say again? He said, off the ball, we are the best team in the world. Oh, shut up, Luis. We know what you are doing. We know what you are doing.
All right, guys, let me read the starting 11s, then I'll get your opinion on it. Arsenal, David Raya in the back. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori returns to the 11. It'll be Saka, Partey, Rice, Martinelli, Havertz, and Trossard. For PSG, we have Donnarumma, Mendes, Pacho, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Zaire Emery, Vitinha, Neves, and Barcola, Lee, and Doué up front. Of course, no Dembele. Klinton, your boy Martinelli on the start, and Leandro Trossard, who also scored over the weekend. What do you think? You like this lineup for Arsenal?
No, I think Arsenal, they, right now, no matter what happens at Arsenal, whether it's Martinelli on the left wing or... so Martinelli and Trossard, they are both starting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very solid Arsenal starting, to be honest. And my only problem with Arsenal is not really the Arsenal we know when it comes to Champions League football. And that's just the sad part of it. I'm just hoping that today, they would literally give us what we see in the Premier League when they face teams like Manchester City, face teams like Chelsea, what's it called? Liverpool. Me just talking about the Premier League, I want to see that Arsenal playing Champions League football. They should just take away that whole fear. I know Gary was talking about the fact that Ousmane Dembele is not going to be in the game, but let me tell you the simple truth. Ousmane Dembele not being there, forget about the fact that he's threatening and he's very fast on that wing. But I think it's a blessing in disguise, if you ask me. Why? Because Ousmane Dembele, listen, he's one person that wastes. There's just something. Listen, if I was this Enrique guy, right, before I give him the disciplinary action, I'll flog him first a few times and say, bro, I don't know what's in your head these days, but you are just one of those players that's just fast for nothing. Recently we've seen it with him. Dembele just runs with the ball. He wants to dribble. It's like he's not planned how he wants to complete his dribble and gets the ball into the 18-yard box. When he's shooting the ball straight into where his families are watching him from. I'm Snapchatting him. Sometimes I feel like he's doing it for social media. Who knows? But him not being in this game, and they might have somebody who's probably going. Sorry, who's actually playing from the right wing?
Doué.
Okay, I mean, I'm probably have not watched them play in their French league. A lot of the times, obviously, we know not a lot of people watch them that much. But I just know that anybody apart from Ousmane Dembele would pose a brilliant football for PSG compared to Ousmane Dembele. I think he needed that what they've put him on currently.
I mean, he's had 8 goal involvements so far this season in Liga. He's obviously.
Do you remember him against Girona?
No, this is.
Never forget.
I'm getting there. I think what Klinton said about perhaps his effectiveness when it comes to the final third is definitely not as good as it could be, and I think. When you look at, obviously, the teams that they play in Liga, and yes, they're not to the quality of the teams you play in the Champions League. So far, they've only played Girona. But still, 8 goal involvements in, I think, 6 or 7 games is a pretty good start to the season. When I look at, not necessarily the effectiveness that he has, but the speed that he has, and who is now playing at left-back, Riccardo Calafiori, I think Calafiori has been good, but I think he does have the tendency to wander out of defence a little bit, and he's not shown me, perhaps in an Arsenal shirt, the defensive solidity that I would like to see. So seeing someone like Ousmane Dembele running at him, I think that would cause a lot of problems for Arsenal and for Calafiori. That's not to say Desiree Doué can not do that, but I perhaps would have liked to see that battle between Dembele and Calafiori.
Well, I guess we'll never know. All right, Gary, yes.
Yeah, what do you need? Let me add it to whatever I was going to say.
I want a score prediction.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't like Luis Enrique because, he's not an easy man to beat. That's a problem. He's too solid. That's my problem with him. I mean, anytime Mikel Arteta should leave, I don't know when it is, I'm definitely looking at Luis Enrique as one of my top 5, top 3, top 2, as well. And the fact that he can have somebody like Bradley Barcola in there, because remember, Dembele he has 4? He's got 4 in 6 Ligue 1 games, but Barcola has 6 in 6. So that's not a bad substitution to have at all. He's a different kind of player to Dembele, but then again, it's going to be a problem for us. In terms of prediction, obviously I want us to win. And if you look at our team, it's the same lineup we named against the 4-2-0 biter against Leicester City 3. Merino is on the bench, which makes me very, very happy. He's recovered from injury, waiting for his debut with us. Ben White is injured, but still, I think this is a solid team. And the last thing I'll say before you take over is that just like the Man City game, just like the Atalanta game, you remember I said 2 weeks ago that we have a run of games that is going to position us as a serious team or a non-serious team by the end of October. This is one of them. If we're able to beat PSG or to convincingly eke out a win or something, people are going to respect us even more. I mean, everybody should respect us. by the way. Yeah, but we are winning this game. Come on, Arsenal.
Just give him the respect for now. Yeah. But I mean, whilst we're still on Arsenal, I just want to ask this very, it's just slightly away from this Champions League and PSG versus Arsenal. But when you mention Arsenal, right, Saliba and Gabriel on that central midfield, and Konate, Van Dijk. These two pairs, which one is more solid? I know this. Saliba and Gabriel.
Yeah, I think when you look at Arsenal's offensive record this season
and last season,
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, but I think this season it's 3 goals in the league conceded. Obviously 2 against Leicester and 1 against Brighton. 4 then against City as well. I look at the solidity that they both have. I think Van Dijk and Konate are brilliant, but I think Konate does have the odd error in him.
100%.
The odd, he'll wander out of defence a little bit too far and find himself out of position. So I think I never have any confidence issues with Saliba or Gabriel. When I if I'm the manager and I put them in my team, I'm not even thinking about the defence. That is, a clean sheet pretty much guaranteed, and with David Raya in goal, even
and
better.
goals.
And goals as well. Gabriel's goals. His prowess, offensive when he's coming up for corners, it's a double threat. And I think those two, at the moment, perhaps the best 2 centre-backs in the world.
I think their partnership also, they work so well together. That's another factor, because we knew, Van Dijk is one of the best defenders right now in the world, but he was injured last season. He wasn't playing as much with Konate. Konate was also injured. These two have been playing together for, how long now, Gary? 2 seasons. But, they are... It's like what we're saying, you can't name Xavi without Iniesta or vice versa. This is the same thing with these two. These two go hand in hand.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I would have thought about Van Dijk and Konate. I'm just looking at Abe. Abe actually thinks Konate and Van Dijk are better. And so, somebody just mentioned Konate being, one of the is a beast on headers. But then again, I would say the same thing for Gabriel as well, because I can't think about anybody who scores more goals with the head even more than. I don't know how. I think sometimes he's using juju to do that stuff. I don't know how he manages to be on the right place at the right time every single time. But sorry for bringing that one. I've just been wondering this pairs, which are the best.
But that's what makes this show. That's what makes this show nice. Our ability to shoehorn or sandwich or dovetail these small discussions into the main thing, and that's why people love us. And so I'll give my 2 cents as well to make it. As much as I'm an Arsenal fan, I'll say Gabriel and Saliba. I think that if Van Dijk and Konate go this season without any injuries, they are going to give us serious problems as well. Because Van Dijk, if he gets into the groove and starts scoring as well, he chips in your odd 6 goals, 5 goals a season. Konate will give you that solid 5 goals a season as well. And under his tutorship, or under the leadership of Van Dijk, there's no way Konate is not going to be the next best thing in the world, one of the next best things in the world as well. So Liverpool have a good thing going, and I think it's a real reason why they are an outside chance, that is, outside of Man City and Arsenal, who everybody thought was going to be 1 and 2 in whichever order, for Liverpool to quietly upset the apple cart and give us problems in the Premier League top 3 reckoning. But there will be a very key reason, apart from Salah's goals and all that. But yeah, I absolutely love Konate, man. He has this ability to strike shots from afar as well. You notice that? Yeah, that's something he's got that neither of Saliba or Gabriel has. And it's a great Arsenal he has as well. His height, his composure. By the time give him another 2 years, and I literally see your Real Madrid's, trying to exactly,
Florentino Perez is going to come knocking, Gary. I'm sorry.
Yep. I mean, that's exactly what's happened with Rudiger. And I was quite surprised when I heard Rudiger was going to Real Madrid. I was like, wait. For me, leaving Chelsea especially where Chelsea was, leaving from there, going straight to Real Madrid was like, God damn, man. These guys, what do they do? But anyways.
Give me a prediction for Arsenal PSG.
I think this one, to be honest, I see Arsenal getting a 2-1 from this game.
Okay.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, and speaking about the goals, I don't know, for some reason, I think Trossard is going to have a goal. You see, I believe in Trossard a lot for some reason. The guy just has this beast mode. When you look at his face as a goalkeeper, I think I will leave the ball, just ride him, because already you know, you just see somebody who's like a lion, and him with the ball in front of goal. There's this frightening stuff. I just love Trossard, you know, and I know a goal is going to probably come from him. Now I see Havertz scoring a goal as well. You know, today is probably going to be one of them days where he's going to be shining. For PSG, I think it's going to be an own goal.
Okay.
And
who's the own goal coming from?
Sorry. I meant for Arsenal. So PSG is going to so it's going to be own goal, and for some reason I don't know why. After praising Gabriel today, he's going to.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like I don't know why I see him, I don't know why I see him on the pitch and he's just like, oh.
Alex, give me a score prediction.
It's going to sound a bit wild, but I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal.
Okay. Tell me.
Oh, wow.
Goals from Gabriel. I think I'm going to stick Gabriel in there in my goals.
Is it the own goal or the real goal?
The real goal, goal. Okay. Havertz and Jurriën Timber.
Bukayo Saka.
Man said Timber, you know.
Jurriën
Crazy.
Timber.
No Saka, no love. Yeah, we've all gone for Arsenal across the board here. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, Arsenal in the Champions League, what can they do? What can PSG do in the Champions League? Thank you very much. Let's talk about AC Milan and Leverkusen. Your boy Victor Boniface getting the start. Let me read you the lineups really quick and then we'll get into it. Radecki, Tassoba, Tah, Hincapi, Grimaldo. In the middle, Xhaka, Wirtz, Garcia. And up front, Jeremy Frimpong, Adli, and Victor Boniface for Leverkusen. AC Milan, though, also have one of your favorites coming in. Mike Maignan, Teo Hernandez, Tomori, Gabia, Emerson, Fofana, Reinders, Loftus-Cheek, and Rafael Leao. Tammy Abraham and Christian Pulisic starting for the Rossoneri. This one is going to be very good, guys. I see this very level playing field for Milan. You know, they're coming off a win against Lecce. They beat Inter at the San Siro. And, you know, Leverkusen, we know, not going to be happy with that draw against Bayern. A little wobbly, but they're going to want to prove a point here. But both, well, the thing is Milan actually lost to Liverpool 2 weeks ago. They went up early, and then Liverpool did what Liverpool does. Leverkusen thrashed Feyenoord 4-0.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a cracking game, like you said. AC Milan started the season well. They're, 2 points off the top of Serie A. They're third. I think towards the beginning of the season, people were starting to worry about Paulo Fonseca. I think, you know, perhaps not calling for his job sounds a bit harsh, but was thinking, you know, what's going wrong here? Because they started the season quite poorly. They needed time to pick up those results. But, you know, I feel like coming off the back of a derby win, like they did against Inter Milan, you know, that does wonders to a team's confidence. And then coming into the Champions League, AC Milan is, you know, one of the most successful teams. I think the second most successful team in Champions League or in European Cup history. You know, when you look at the history that club has, I know it doesn't mean anything on match day, but it's the pride that those players have to wear that shirt, the confidence they have coming off their last few results. You know, it's going to be a hard job for Xabi Alonso's men, but having said that, they'll be fired up as well. They want to put right some wrongs after the draw against Bayern Munich at the weekend. You know, obviously Victor Boniface was slightly quiet in that game. I think he'll obviously want to put some things right as well. So, yeah, I think it will be a cracking game. I want to go 2-2 as my prediction.
Ooh, I hope that. That sounds really exciting. Check out our Twitter poll right now. How many goals Victor Boniface going to score against Milan? Let us know. And for the record, 60% of you think Leverkusen are going to win this game, according to the polls. Klinton, right? Is it Leverkusen's match to lose?
Right. I mean, just looking at the lineup for AC Milan, it cannot look very tough, though.
It is very tough.
If they decide to turn up, I think it's going to be a very hard game for Bayer Leverkusen.
They beat Inter.
Well, exactly. Like, I don't know why people tend to be, if not for my boy, obviously, Victor Boniface, I would have been saying they are going to be beating the hell.
You can still say it, and he can still be your boy.
No, I mean, no. I think he knows that I like him a lot, and as a footballer, by the way, and I would always support him. I always want him to win. I want him to batch in all the goals, and for that reason, I'm going the Leverkusen way. Obviously, I don't have any options at this point. I don't think P.S. Morgan would be choosing anything that's not involving Ronaldo as the winner for whatever. So I think that is exactly where I tend to stand at this point.
That's the debate I would like to see, you versus Piers Morgan. Ronaldo versus Messi.
Oh
Trust
my
me,
God.
trust
The
me,
internet
that's the
can't
one.
handle it.
That'll be a bloodbath.
That is the one that we are definitely doing at the O2. Like, we are setting up an O2. Everybody has to be there for that argument because, yo, it's going to definitely get physical at some point during that argument.
That I would tune in for.
Wait, what are you saying, Gary?
Is it going to be pay-per-view?
Oh, it should be. It should be.
No, I mean, it has to be.
That's the
It has-
boxing fight.
it
The
has
next
to-
weekend between you and Piers Morgan. They have the press conference and then the boxing.
Now, this game, I think I am going a draw. It's 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Gary, how are you feeling about this side? You lean in a certain way here?
I want goals, and 1-1, that's it for me.
1-1 as well. Okay, so
3 draws.
I'm not going for a draw. I think someone's going to win. I don't know.
How bold of you.
This one is a tough one.
No, because you know what? I initially started thinking it was going to... No, you know what? Milan's winning this game.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm not going for a score. No, sure. 2-1. Again, I feel like it might be actually not high scoring. It might be a 1-0.
It's one of those ones where both teams really want to win it, but
Yeah.
it'll be a bit cagey, I have a feeling.
Christian Pulisic, maybe?
Tammy Abraham.
Could be. Tammy saved the day. I mean, I want it to be Leao, but I feel like Christian Pulisic has been scoring a little bit more.
I'm not so confident about Leao these days, though. I mean, I am confident with him holding the ball and driving through that left wing, but when it comes to scoring the goal, I don't put Leao there anymore. I wish his game was as complete as the like of, say Vinicius, where your dribbles and your runs somehow will produce either, you get an assist or you're scoring the goal itself. But there's just something about Leao lately that I feel like,
What do you think is wrong with him, guys? I mean, can we spend? What's wrong with Leao? Because he's got everything in his locker, and I mean everything in his locker. As skillful as Vinny, as quick as Vinny.
No, but
smiles as well as Vinny.
No, it smiles more than Vinny. Let's not even go into smiles like Vinny.
Don't.
Let's not go into Vinny.
No. Don't be rude.
No way.
Do not be mean, boys. Do not be mean.
I think the one thing I'm not very confident about Rafael Leao currently compared to who he used to be before is the fact that he completes his dribbles. Like, you could clearly tell that he's threatening. When he's running through that left, you would just know that there's going to be some end result to that, either the run or the dribble. Like, either the ball is going to the 18-yard box or it's doing some kind of link-up play that's leading to a goal. I don't know. But these days, what I've realized about Leao is if he does 10 dribbles, it's only like 2-3 of them that he's going through with. The rest of them is either getting intercepted or they're tackling him or he's doing some kind of fake dive that means he's getting a yellow card. That is something that I've realized with Rafael Leao currently. And if that can change, I still think that Rafael Leao is up there. Literally, I would even rate him even over Ousmane Dembele right now as I speak. I'm telling you for real.
Wow.
I changed my mind. Sorry. They're not playing at the San Siro. I think Bayer Leverkusen will then get this. Sorry, that's actually massive. I think Bayer Leverkusen will win, and you know how, Klinton? With the juju. Extra 90-minute, and then we'll see Boniface is not score.
Andrés.
No. It's going to be Jeremy Frimpong today.
Ooh.
It's going to be Jeremy Frimpong in the 90-plus.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be 1-0 still. Let's see how wrong we all.
Remember, both teams have been leaking goals.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe though now it's going to be very defensive, play on the counter. I don't know. I want it to be 2-2 because I want Alex to be right about this in the goals. But for some reason, I'm struggling to see it. Let's see. Let's move along here. Let's talk a little Barca. Barca lost their first game, obviously, to Monaco. Eric Garcia is not in the lineup or the squad, obviously, due to that red card. But they got a point to prove here because they're coming off, the loss in the Champions League and their first loss in La Liga, taking on Young Boys at home, not at the Wankdorf. Don't do it. Hansi Flick, Gary, we are putting all the faith back in the Barca manager here. We spoke about this a little bit yesterday, but lineups are out. Let me give you who's starting for Barca, and then you can tell me whether or not you think maybe one Ansu Fati should be maybe getting a start, maybe not.
Oh, Patsy.
All right, Barça has Iñaki Peña, Koundé, Coubartin, Inigo Martinez, Balde, Pedri, Casado, and Rafinha's in the... What is he doing in the middle over there? And then Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Ferran Torres. My problem with this, I'll tell you right now, is Ferran Torres. I don't like any of this that I'm seeing right now.
I think they have the abilities to beat young boys. I think when you look at their prowess in Europe and like I said with AC Milan, it's a historic club. When you play in the Champions League, that doesn't mean anything on match day, but it's still, you have that experience within, the coaches there that would have, shown them how to go about these big moments. There are some young players in that squad that perhaps, are new to this experience, but I look at young boys' first result against Aston Villa.
3-0.
I think the test that Barcelona are facing tonight, I think they'll have what it takes to deal with what young boys have to offer, and I can see them getting the win.
I think they also need like a confident, they need like a serious win, like a 3-0, a 4, like something really to...
I don't think that will happen though.
Take the...
It'll be 2-0.
2-0, okay.
I think they'll have to work for it though.
Lewandowski, both goals?
No, I'm going to go Lewandowski and Rafinha.
Nice. Klinton, what do you think about Barcelona today?
Barcelona today, I think Lamine Yamal is definitely getting a goal for some reason. I think young boys, they are not usually at the level where they will have any threatening, ability against Barcelona. Barcelona right now, I understand they've had 2 games where it's been quite funny. Was he Osasuna that beat them last time? And then obviously in the Champions League, Monaco, because of the red card, they were beaten as well. This game, I don't think they'll be taking it lightly. They'll want to wake up and prove a point. And Lamine Yamal, pretty much I understand his pace, especially with the game where they lost. And obviously we know that Hansi Flick was the cause. He took the blame to himself. It's because he didn't get to start the real boys. And this time they are going in with the mindset that, we are not losing this game. And it's not like they are playing some kind of exceptional team. I think the young boys did lose their last game.
Yeah, they lost to Milan.
Well, exactly. So, and what was the scoreline? I think it was so ridiculous. Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Now, I don't see them doing any crazy thing against Barcelona. I see this game. If I was going to score it, I'm probably going to say more like a 3-1 game.
Oh, so they're going to get scored on, you think?
I think they will score. The Barcelona...
Still no Szczęsny. Is he, I think, are they taking his time with Szczęsny, or they...
For what? This is Champions League season.
Yeah,
it's not... Yeah, I'm assuming it's still...
Maybe it's a fitness issue.
Yeah, fitness, medical kind of stuff, getting acclimated a little bit. But I think if Hansi Flick had him in the squad, he would absolutely be playing him. Sorry, Klinton. So you're going to go 3-1.
Yeah, I'm going definitely 3-1.
Gary, Barcelona young boys, Lamine Yamal to score. 60% of you guys, by the way, think that Lamine Yamal will... Sorry, not 60. I'm reading a different poll. 41% of you guys think that Lamine will score tonight. Gary, are you one of them?
Yeah, it should be higher. If there's a game where he would score, it's this one, with everything that's happened. And remember, Barca didn't start the league phase well, which has already put them in a difficult position because you know what happens if you don't finish in the top 8. You now have to play an extra 2 matches. And with the fixture list, the schedule as busy as it is, the last thing Barcelona need with this very injury-hit team is more fixtures, more fixtures. So they absolutely need to win, and I don't think young boys have what it takes to stand the might of Barcelona, unfortunately. Barca for the win, 3-1.
3-1. I love it. I'm going to go 3-0. No, I'm going to go 3-1 too, because I don't trust Iñaki Peña as far as I can throw him. Lamine Yamal, I want to see him get on the board. I don't know if he will. Lewandowski, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal. Let's go all 3. No, two for Lewandowski. Just to wrap up the Champions League, we know that there were 2 games that have already finished, and that's Stuttgart and Sparta Praga finished 1-1, and Salzburg has been bested by Brest 4-0. RB Salzburg having a horrible start to their Champions League campaign. That's 2 losses now. It's not looking good for the Red Bull side. We are almost out of time, Alex, but let's
That's 4-0 though. You see, this is the reason why this reason why I said Brest always win.
No. Stop. All right. No. Let's talk championship.
No,
Right
but
after-
Brest always win, man. All these arguments. Anyways, yeah, sorry, let's go on. But Brest always wins.
Stop. Middlesbrough taking on West Brom. That's going to be live right after the Sporty Show on SportyTV. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. Alex, West Brom, Middlesbrough, you feeling any which way about that?
I get West Brom. I think I've been really impressed by how they've started the season. You know, it looks like, as the Twitter trend was a few weeks ago of all the Barclays era, looks like we're going to have a few Barclays teams back in the Premier League perhaps next season. So, yeah, it's been West Brom's time, I think, for a while now. They've been near the playoffs. They've struggled to get back up, and I think this could be their time to come back up. And they've started the season brilliantly, and I see them having too much for Middlesbrough.
And right now, Norwich taking on Leeds. Oh, Leeds. How the mighty have fallen.
Is there any reason why we're not speaking about Man City, though?
Yeah, there is a reason. All right. Norwich and Leeds right now in action. Leeds, do you expect them to come back up, Alex?
I mean, everyone is predicting them. I think when you look at the Championship this season and everyone's thinking which side, it has to be Leeds that wins the league. But I think it does take its toll when you lose a playoff final like they did against Southampton. I think it can be a negative effect on the squad. We've seen it with teams in the past. So I think they do have the capability. They have the financial strength, the ability in players, and they're too big of a club for the Championship. But the Championship is the hardest league to get out of in the world, notoriously. So they're going to have to work for it, and nothing's guaranteed. But I can see them getting a win at Carrow Road tonight.
Gary, who do you think is going to come back up into the Premier League this season? Early doors, I know, but do you have any predictions?
For West Brom versus West Brom versus
For who's
Borough?
going to be promoted from the Championship back into the Premier League?
Leeds.
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 Maybe Leeds. Maybe Leeds. All right, Klinton.
Who are you predicting? You didn't say anything. Who are you predicting to go?
Leeds. Norwich. Burnley. Obviously. Got it together, Gary. All right, just a minute left. Holland gonna get on the board tonight, Klinton. Hat trick?
No, definitely not hat trick, but yeah, I think he has 2 goals today.
Perfect. Alex, Holland?
Yeah, one goal. I think 1 goal in him for tonight.
There's like
the 3-0 win.
I mean, after the Newcastle match as well, I think everyone's like, oh well, Holland can't play football.
Season's over.
Yeah.
But then you never know, though. He might want to take the fact that Cole Palmer did something. He might want to probably look for goals with every might that he has. But let's see. Like I said, I don't think he's going to have 3 goals today, maybe 2. They are playing a quite easy team. I don't think we want to compare Manchester City to whoever it is they are playing. Sometimes you just need to read the name of the team and you know they're going to get battered proper.
Markandé says 5 goals for Holland.
Wow.
God, that would be some.
Markandé, 5. God. Markandé, do you think they are playing Cambridge United? This is Champions League, Well, let's see.
But it's Erling Haaland. I mean, I think it's easier for him to score.
Sparta Bratislava.
What do you call it? Exactly. I mean, what do you call it? Is it a quintuple?
A quintuple?
4 is a haul, 3 is a hat trick, 2 is a brace. What do you call 5?
Quintuple, yeah.
Quintuple, whatever. Yeah.
By the way, when was the last time somebody had that in a game?
4.
What, 5?
We have to take 5.
It's a good question.
No.
I'm not sure, but we are out of time. So we'll come back tomorrow with that answer, guys. And we will be back talking all Champions League again tomorrow, right before the match, same time, same place. Enjoy all the Champions League football, EFL right after this. Make sure you stay tuned. West Brom and Middlesbrough. We'll be back tomorrow, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Until then, enjoy the football.